put on that cape again, isn't he?
The cape is right. Cooper Flax, who was everything coming into this season. Revelation as a freshman for this team. We can see he's tied for first in the ACC with 6 assists.
Out of the 18, and Stanford now will reset. Big ball over the top as Kruger puts a head on it. Now Escobar. This is where Stanford is really, really good. And Stanford, obviously a well-known program, they're good. You have chaos in the box, they usually come out with a goal.
Getting the shot off there, but yeah, you're exactly right, Ty. This team specializes in keeping high possession. And to your point, the longer you keep possession in dangerous spaces, things are bound to happen.
And the Oregon State game that they thought was going to end in a tie, and Stanford kept battling, fighting back, and a couple of knocks inside the box, and surprise rebound and back in the back of that, and that gave Stanford the win.
They play a physical brand of soccer. They want to be known as the hardest working team in the country. It's something they embody as a program.
Sarajan looking, Perez, he's a sniper. Does he have enough room? Fires! Oh, wow! Just so close from the top shelf. What a save.
You see this ball coming back across. Perez sets himself up, settles it nicely, gets it on his right boot, places that well in the upper corner. Just a fantastic.
Headed away quickly, but right back to the boot of a Cardinal, driven high, just a hair too high.
That was a screamer, comes back across. Partle very familiar with finishing these. Did not hesitate, lined this up, and absolutely stroked this.
Look at that. Jeffrey White coming in after injury with his nose and had to put on the Zorro mask. He told me he was hoping to black it out, but apparently couldn't get it ready for this match.
I've seen a lot of players develop superpowers wearing those masks. There's an identity that comes along with it.
I told him maybe he could channel the Justin Gray, which of course did that against your Duke Blue Devils in basketball. Had to wear a face mask. His more looked like a scuba mask at that point, but still. Jeffrey White did not play in the Clemson match. He was devastated he couldn't do that. He's having himself a very, very successful 2025. Sarajan trying to hold that one up. This is well played as Stanford delivers a low blow with a little bit of pace. Bednard right there plays it as a shortstop, but it kind of spilled it a little bit. You have to be careful because, Cedric, you've seen Stanford in their matches before. If the keeper is not 100% perfect, they will follow through.
Oh, absolutely. Bednard is going to have to stay clicked on for 90 minutes this evening because any lapse in judgment or any lapse at all, Stanford will capitalize.
You know, it's old school, youth soccer days where you have to follow up. But it's so important to do that. You just never know on how a ball might hop. You just have to follow through. Might come up with not what you'd say a sexy goal, but it's a goal. And that means more than anything.
Well, at this level and at this pace, the margins are so thin. All it takes is one moment of brilliance or one mistake to change a game.
Especially against these two clubs. Stanford has had Wake Forest's number. They'll laugh at it and say it's not a rival because Wake has not beaten them. True, but man, when these two teams tussle, it's an epic showdown. See, he touches in the box, flag is up, and that will negate the goal. As Bohane Fadi had the first goal. Bohane's trying to keep in that same line, right? But it's just that shoulder.
That close?
Yep. I mean,
the tie was off, but it wasn't off by much. I tell you, that one was pretty close. And it didn't count, but a fantastic finish. Looked like we're going to get a review of this.
This is what the referee is looking at.
call on the field is that Bohane started in an offside position, then came back to receive this ball.
Which there he is, which is very tight.
Very tight.
He looks like he's just got a shoulder in an offside position. That is tight. And I mean, I'm with Bohane as a former attacker. You look and you're like, dude, what are you looking at? And the review, these are where...
This is essentially a corner from this position. Yep. This will go right across the 6. And they
short. That's right. Or they'll go short. Another lofting ball looking for Chow. Headed on smackdown. And then a very, very good defensive backup there as Mednard slapped it away like a center in basketball.
And that was a fantastic clearance off the line. You see this one bounce around a little bit. Mednard does a good job bringing it down. And that's the former striker.
Bank. Chow. Nice 1-2 by Partall. Clever. The Ba, bad for Bilal. Bilal with a swing and a miss, but comes right back on it. Bilal. That one was popped. Maybe deflected, and it almost worked to his favor. Possession change. Let's take a look at that Bilal shot. Just trying to place it up. It just dipped. I don't know if that was deflected, but it did kind of have an awkward dip to it. Basically pinned in, double teamed. Perez trying to slide tackle from the side and off and running, even beating Thomas, which is very tough to do. One-timer, oh my. Bohane had that one locked and loaded and headed into the back of the net.
Bank and Imani Thomas counted one hand the times I've ever seen him beaten 1v1. Fletcher Bank with a nice cross. Bohane didn't miss by much.
Stanford again, tiptoeing. They were in the 18 for a second. Pulled it right back out. Numbers, targets in the box, trying to slip it through. Almost got through. Mednard somehow saw it the last second.
How good the Stanford team is. Cooper Flax had that play shut down completely on the other side. They not only get the ball back.
Still got a lot of soccer to be played. Chow and Imani Thomas going shoulder to shoulder. And that ball, you have to be confident you're going to land on 2 feet.
Well, that's already 8 shots in the second half alone.
Stanford again. Stanford will bury the first goal in this one after multiple trips into the attacking third. It is Fletcher Bank that finally has the key to unlock the lock of Wake Forest back line.
And Fletcher Bank he's been so impressive this game on the wing. We saw in the first half he nearly created a couple of different chances. This one he just very confidently wins this, gets his head up, gets in the box, picks 6 spot, goes low and into the corner.
With the 16th finally getting into the back of the net, even after the review, and we're looking for some more.
And Ty, you called it just the relentless pressure and opportunity and continual numbers in the box. This is their game plan. They're going to shorten the pitch, flood the box with numbers, win first as well as second balls, and just keep shooting. As good as Mednard has played this evening, if you get that many shots against you, eventually one is bound to go in.
DeBop. Some of a tight pocket and had it taken away. And I get fouled on DeBop. This is DeBop with a silky touch to the left to Tate Lawrence. Lawrence trying to buy some time inside the box, thinking for a possible BK.
May have been clipped a little, but he looked a little out of control, which is why I'm assuming it didn't get called. I don't know. That one's close. Definitely some contact in the back there.
Lining up, spit out. Good tackle by Sullivan. And even a better cutout there by Sullivan on that diagonal pass.
If Sullivan doesn't go down that confidently and that well, that is a guaranteed goal.
Could this be the moment? Oh, just ahead and running by 3 Stanford Cardinal. It was Sarajan, head full of steam, hoping just to slip it by the keeper.
So we see Sullivan here, great position. He goes down, great tackle, then gets right back up for a deflective header. And then we see the counter, and look, Stanford still has 3 guys behind the ball. As effective as that counter was, they do such a good job compacting and getting back.
Sarajan not slow at all. He's got some speed, and Stanford quickly got back. Wake Forest with another corner, looking for a delivery and a finish. Can it come here? Headed down. Almost gets by.
They're keeping the ball in high places. Yet another corner. We see a first opportunity as well as the deflection coming across.
Deeks trying to level this up. Can it come here? Going long. Perez trying to latch onto it. He'll just put it in the air close to the area. Clary. Theft. Oh, man, that is reckless.
Professional yellow card.
And since that was more than a yellow.
It is. Jack Pem knew exactly what he was doing there. That was a very promising attack. They were, for one of the few times in this game, Wake had an opportunity to counter very quickly and catch Stanford with disadvantaged numbers.
It's interesting how tight it was in the first half on the calls, right?
Yeah.
And then in the second half, a back heel that will go in the back of the net just to add salt to the wound.
Salt to the wound, and an absolute wonder goal from Bohane. He's had a few chances. He had one disallowed. The back heel finish. Clinical.
Bohane, drafted by the Philadelphia Union in 2024, the Super Draft 2024. Let's see how clever this back heel was.
Fletcher bank again. He's been mentioned several times. We see the service in, and that was a phenomenal back heel.
10,
on the title card.
9, 8, 7, 6,
2-0
5,
was the final in 2017. It's the final here. And a yellow card to tack on. Yellow card to Perez. And the kryptonite still remains in the hands of the Stanford Cardinal program.